Have you ever felt that America is no longer the place you once dreamed of? Bills keep piling up, taxes are rising, houses are tiny, but the prices are sky high. And even at retirement age, you still have to worry about working extra hours. Honestly, living like that is surviving, not truly living. But here's the exciting part. There are countries out there that genuinely need Americans to come live and retire. They're opening their doors, rolling out the red carpet, offering you easy visa policies, light taxes, low costs, and a life where every morning you'll ask yourself, why didn't I come here sooner? Just imagine, with the same amount you're paying for a cramped apartment in the US, you could be living in a home with an ocean view, eating fresh seafood every day, strolling under golden sunlight, and having neighbors always ready to offer you a glass of wine or a cup of coffee. Not retiring in silence, but starting a new chapter, in a place where you're truly welcomed. If you're hearing this and feel your heart beat a little faster, then don't miss out. Because in this video are 5 countries waiting for you to arrive. And who knows, one of them might just be the place you'll call home in the best years of your life. Comment, I'm ready if you want to know this list. Hit like to support me in continuing to share real opportunities. Subscribe to the channel so next time, when a new paradise calls, you'll be the first to know. Dream it. Pack it. Go. 5. Mauritius, where the retired heart comes home, in the middle of the blue ocean. Just imagine, you open your eyes one morning, and instead of the blaring car horns and weary glow of streetlights, what you hear is the gentle whisper of ocean waves. What you see is an endless horizon where the deep blue waters of the Indian Ocean meet the sky like the soft brushstroke of a great painter. This is Mauritius, a small island in the heart of the sea, yet carrying a charm so irresistible that those reaching the final stretch of their working years feel young again. Mauritius is unlike any place you've ever set foot in. It's not as noisy as Bangkok, not as flashy as Dubai, and not as cold as the northern cities in winter. Here, the air is a delicate blend of salty sea breeze, the scent of tropical flowers, and, drifting from a neighbor's kitchen, the spicy aroma of Creole curry. This island nation is like a symphony where every sound, every color, every person plays a note that together creates a warm, gentle melody. For those who dream of retiring without stopping living, Mauritius opens its arms in a very special way. All you need is to be 50 or older and have a modest monthly income of $1,500 from a pension or investments. You can get a long-term retirement visa for up to 10 years. No need to buy $1 million home. No requirement for risky investments. Just prove you can support yourself and want to stay. And after 3 years, if your income stream remains stable, you can move up to 20-year permanent residency, almost like a one-way ticket to truly anchor yourself here. With just $1,500 a month, you can live comfortably, without having to pinch pennies like in the US, where even your electricity bill or health insurance can make your heart race. A one-bedroom apartment near the beach costs only about $300, $400 a month. Fresh food, tuna, lobster, ripe mangoes is so affordable you'll wonder why you ever paid double or triple back home for something less fresh. The cost of living here, compared to the US, is like comparing a refreshing tropical rain to a freezing winter storm, so much lighter and easier to bear. Healthcare in Mauritius is another gift. Even as a small island, it offers free public healthcare for residents and high-quality private healthcare for those who want the best service. English-speaking doctors are common, many trained in the UK or India, combining excellent expertise with an understanding of foreign patients' needs. A visit to a private hospital often costs only a third, or even a quarter, of what you'd pay in the US. And if you want total peace of mind, international private health insurance here is only around $100, $200 a month. When it comes to taxes, Mauritius is like a kind neighbor who never asks how much you earn, as long as you don't bring that money into their home. Personal income tax is a flat 15%. But if your income stays in the US and you don't transfer it into Mauritius, you won't have to pay tax here. Combined with the double taxation avoidance treaty with the US, this means your pension is almost fully preserved, without being nibbled away from both ends. But what makes many Americans come here and stay isn't just the easy visa low costs, or tax perks. It's the people and the pace of life. In Grand Bay, a famous seaside town, you'll find colorful morning markets. Creole vendors smiling as brightly as the sun, offering you a taste of fresh, hot dole puri. Across the way, an Indian family selling spices with aromas that fill the air. And in another corner, a French-style coffee stand serving croissants fresh from the oven. Mauritius is a cultural crossroads of India, Africa, Europe, and China, each community bringing its own gift of cuisine, music, and lifestyle. Mauritians live by a simple yet profound philosophy. We are not in a hurry because life here is already beautiful. And this rubs off on you. You'll learn to sip your morning coffee slowly, spend entire afternoons reading under the shade of palm trees, and take evening walks along the beach when the sun, red as a giant orange, gently sinks into the sea. Safety is also a big plus. This is one of the most stable countries in Africa, with no internal conflict and a low rate of serious crime. The worst thing that might happen to you in a tourist area is being given change back because a vendor miscalculated. And when you compare Mauritius to other retirement spots, say, to the Asian beaches that are becoming overcrowded, or the expensive cities of Europe, Mauritius feels like a private beach, where there's still space for you to set up a lounge chair, open a book, and let the sea breeze wash away the weary years. Some say, retirement is the start of a new life, only now you have more time to live it. If that's true, then Mauritius is your new stage, a place quiet enough for you to hear yourself, beautiful enough for each day to feel like a gift, and open enough to welcome you as part of it. Just imagine, a few months from now, you step off the plane at Sir Siwu Sagar Ramgoolam International Airport, the salty ocean air wrapping around you, and in the distance, rows of palm trees waving in greeting. In that moment, you'll know you haven't just arrived in a new country, you've arrived at a better version of yourself. 4. North Macedonia, where time slows down and money feels gentle. Have you ever thought about a life where, in the morning when you open your eyes, instead of hearing the blaring horns of traffic jams, you only hear the chirping of sparrows, the distant toll of church bells, and the scent of fresh bread drifting through the crack of your door? In North Macedonia, that's not a dream. It's an ordinary day. I arrived in Skopje on an autumn morning, when the Vardar River was still steaming with mist and the stone bridges were covered in the golden glow of the early sun. My first feeling? So quiet that I could hear my own footsteps on the cobblestone pavement, a luxury in the place I once lived. Less than $800 a month covers everything: housing, food, internet, and a few $0. 50 bus rides to Ohrid, the lake city as beautiful as a painting, with water so clear you'd think you were looking down into the sky. I rented a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for just $300 a month, its windows opening onto the square where old men play chess and students sip condensed milk coffee. Breakfast? A $1 macchiato with a hot cheese burek for 50 cents. Lunch was tavche gravche, traditional baked beans, for only $3. Served with a refreshing shopska salad. Every day I found myself asking, how can it be this delicious and still so cheap? Here, time doesn't run. It takes a walk. You'll see people spending entire mornings over coffee without rushing, and markets full of fresh produce where the vendors know each customer by name. I met Elena, a 8-year-old Canadian English teacher who used to teach in Toronto. She said, "In Canada, I taught to make a living. In Macedonia, I teach for joy. And joy makes you live longer." She rents an apartment overlooking Lake Ohrid, teaches a few classes in the morning, and spends her afternoons kayaking or cycling along the shore. One time, she invited me over for dinner, and when she opened the fridge, it was filled entirely with cheese and Vranic wine. She laughed. "Here, doctors say red wine is good for the heart, so I follow orders." Of course, no place is perfect. In North Macedonia, public health care is basic but slow. If you want faster service and doctors with good English, you should visit a private clinic in Skopje or Ohrid. The internet is fine, about $20, $30 a month for a fast plan. But in some rural areas, it can be spotty. And if you're used to a fast-paced life, You'll need time to adjust to waiting 15 minutes for a coffee, only to get it along with a smile and a story from the barista. But perhaps that's exactly what makes this place special. It forces you to slow down, listen more, and spend less while enjoying more. Visa? Americans can stay 90 days without a visa, then apply for a 1-year temporary residence card if they own property, start a business, or can prove income and insurance. After 5 years, you're eligible for permanent residency. So the question is, would you trade a cramped apartment and sky-high utility bills for a balcony overlooking the lake, wine as cheap as water, and neighbors who know your name? Comment below North Macedonia. I'm coming. If you want a life that's affordable, beautiful, and enough for you to take a deep breath every morning. If you think this place deserves a spot on your retirement paradise list, hit like so, I know you agree. Share this video with a friend you think needs a fresh start. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, so we can keep exploring places where just one decision could change your whole life. Who knows? Next time I'm having coffee in Ohrid, you might be the one sitting at the next table, smiling as the sun sinks into the lake, and saying, I made the choice. 3. Dominican Republic, where every day is a bachata dance of life. There are places that make people forget the concept of a weekend, because every day there is worth living. The Dominican Republic is one of those places, a land where the blue sea embraces white sandy shores, where the scent of grilled seafood blends with the sound of bachata music drifting from roadside bars, and where the smiles of the locals can make even the heaviest worries feel lighter. A budget of $1,500, $2,000 a month can cover it all. Housing, food, high-speed internet, and even bachata dance lessons right on the sand. In coastal towns like Sosua or Cabarete, a beachfront home costs only about $500, $800 a month. Every morning, the sound of the waves is your alarm clock. The La Bandera meal rice, beans, and meat fills you up for just $3, $4, and freshly caught fish is so cheap it would shock regular shoppers from Western supermarkets. The Dominican Republic's appeal isn't just about its cost of living. The pensionado or rentista visa requires a minimum retirement or passive income of $1,500 a month and is processed quickly. Law 171-07 offers a host of tax benefits: exemption from foreign income tax, exemption from household goods, import tax, and reduced property taxes perks that many other countries can't match. Life here isn't rushed, sometimes so slow that newcomers take a few weeks to adjust. Services run on mañana time, meaning we'll deal with it tomorrow, but in exchange, time itself seems to stretch and moments feel more complete. Larger cities like Santo Domingo or Santiago have international standard private hospitals, English-speaking doctors, and private health insurance that delivers quality care at reasonable costs. So, what's the real magic of this country? Perhaps it's the sense of freedom when each day ends with a blazing sunset by the sea, the closeness when a neighbor offers you a glass of rum for no reason, and the warmth when strangers call each other amigo instead of customer. And here's the tough question for anyone reading this: if you could trade traffic jams, rising bills, and waiting for the weekend for a life by the sea filled with laughter and flavor, would you make that decision today or keep putting it off? Just leave one sentence: I choose to dance bachata with life. Who knows, maybe one day, when the sun sinks below the Cabarete horizon, the very person who left that comment will be raising a glass with new friends, smiling because they chose to take the leap. 2. Mexico, where tradition blends with modern freedom. In Mexico, each day can begin with church bells ringing across an ancient stone square, followed by a cup of locally roasted coffee, and end under a sky lit with fireworks from a folk festival. This is a country where thousand-year history, diverse culture, and modern life coexist in a captivating balance. Cities like Mérida, San Miguel de Allende, and the coastal Puerto Vallarta are not only famous for their vibrant architecture and rich cuisine, but also for offering a comfortable lifestyle at a reasonable cost. One can live well here on a budget of about $900 to $1,200 a month, which covers a cozy home, fresh produce from local markets, and trips that take you from mountains to beaches. Street tacos cost just a few pesos, yet their flavor is unforgettable. Mexico doesn't have a dedicated retirement visa program, But the common route is applying for a temporary residence card, Residencia temporal. The financial requirements usually run around $4,185 per month in income or savings of $69,750, depending on the consulate. Those who meet higher criteria can apply directly for permanent residency. The flexibility of this visa system makes it easier for many to build a long-term life here, while also benefiting from the double taxation avoidance treaty with the U.S. Healthcare in Mexico is one of its strongest points. Private hospitals in major cities offer international standard services at just 30–50% of U.S. costs. Many doctors have trained and worked in the United States or Europe, making communication and medical care convenient for foreigners. Mexico is not just a place to live, it's an endless festival of culture and color. From Dia de Muertos, the Day of the Dead, to mariachi nights echoing through the streets of Guadalajara, or afternoons watching the sun set over the Pacific coast, every moment is like a living postcard. However, this country also has many facets. Safety levels vary by state, and government travel advisories should always be kept up to date. But in long-established expat communities like Lake Chapala, Ajijic, or San Miguel de Allende, the peaceful and close-knit atmosphere continues to attract thousands of new residents every year. So, if there's a place where you can enjoy UNESCO-recognized cuisine, immerse yourself in the largest multicultural American community abroad, and have access to excellent healthcare at a reasonable cost, the only question left is, what will make your steps slow down? Just leave one sentence. Mexico, I'm coming. Because who knows, one day soon, amid the lively sound of mariachi and the aroma of freshly steamed tamales, you might realize you've chosen the perfect place to live a vibrant life. 1. Montenegro, the little balcony of the heart, overlooking the Mediterranean. Picture this. You're standing on the balcony of a small home in Kotor, with a bay of deep, emerald green water in front of you, surrounded by silver-gray mountains. The wind from the Adriatic Sea drifts in, carrying the salty scent of the waves and the fragrance of lavender fields hidden in the villages. This is Montenegro, a small country powerful enough to make an American searching for a retirement haven stop and think, maybe, this is where I'll grow old. Unlike many countries with a dedicated retirement visa, Montenegro doesn't offer a specific path for retirees, but that doesn't mean the door is closed. All you need to do is buy or rent a home, or open a small business, and you can apply for a 1-year temporary residence card, renewable annually. After 5 years of legal residency, you can move toward permanent residency, and just 5 more years, 10 in total, will make you eligible for citizenship. It's like slowly unlocking one door at a time, year after year, until you fully become part of this place. When it comes to the cost of living, Montenegro is like a beautiful landscape painting that isn't hanging in an overpriced gallery. A person can live comfortably on $1,000, $1,200 a month. In Podgorica or Tivat, a 1-bedroom apartment can be found for about $320, $550. Shopping at the market, eating freshly grilled fish from the morning's fishermen, and sipping full-bodied Vernac wine in the evening all still come at prices that make you smile compared to the numbers in the U.S. Montenegro's healthcare system is divided into 2 sectors, public and private. Public healthcare is sufficient for basic needs, but many expats choose private hospitals in Podgorica, Budva, or Tivat, Kotor for faster service. A general practitioner visit costs about €30, and for greater peace of mind, you can purchase international private health insurance for around $1,000, $1,500 a year. When it comes to taxes, Montenegro is like an easygoing neighbor. Personal income tax is only 9–15%, and with the double taxation avoidance treaty with the U.S., your pension won't be eaten from both ends. This creates a light, stress-free financial environment. The expat community here is small but growing. They gather in picture-perfect places, like Kotor, Tivat, and Budva, connecting through social media groups, coffee meetups, or small seaside parties. It's a community where every new face quickly becomes part of a familiar circle. In terms of safety, Montenegro is a peaceful harbor. Crime rates are low, politics are stable, and the country is on its path toward joining the European Union. This means that with each passing year, the legal environment and infrastructure will get closer to EU standards, providing long-term reassurance for those planning to stay for life. The cuisine here is a symphony of Mediterranean and Balkan flavors: fresh seafood, cevapi, grilled sausages, kaçamak, a cornmeal and potato dish, bold red Vranak wine, and light, crisp Kristach white wine. Everything is served without rush, giving you time to savor each taste. Montenegro is not a land of bright boulevards or towering skyscrapers. It's a country of slow mornings, church bells echoing through villages, golden sunlight spilling over red-tiled roofs, and evenings spent by the bay, listening to the water's rhythm against the stone, as if telling you stories from hundreds of years ago. If Mauritius is the tropical oasis of the soul, then Montenegro is the little balcony overlooking the vast sea, a place where you don't just live, but truly belong. And when the sea breeze flows through your hair, you'll realize retiring here isn't just a financial decision, it's a choice to let your heart truly rest. Life doesn't always give us the choice of where to begin, but anyone can choose where to continue and where to end with dignity. These 5 countries are not just dots on a map. They are doors. Doors to a life where waking up each day is no longer about paying bills, but about watching the sunrise. A life where laughter outweighs sighs, where friends outnumber work obligations, and where every meal is not only delicious to the taste but nourishing to the soul. Somewhere along the way, you may have thought, "I'll go someday." But someday isn't on the calendar. There is only today and the decision you make. So ask yourself, will you keep standing still, or will you step through the door? Will you let your retirement pass quietly, or will you turn it into the most memorable chapter of your life? If your heart has skipped even a single beat, leave a comment. I choose to live fully. And don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Because who knows, your small action today could be the beginning of an entirely new life.